Today, I'm excited to present our research project. Our study focuses on exploring the differences between the ideal design colors envisioned by artists and the actual projection color we see during the show. Movie Sydney is well known for its innovative light installations and exhibitions. However, one challenge faced by designers is color discrepancy, which can significantly impact the visual effect intended by designers. This challenge is often due to the technological limitations and the high cost of precise color correction techniques. We aim to address this challenge by quantifying colors discrepancy for the 7 commonly used colors and explore the characteristics and the trends of the delta E values, a measure of color difference. As for outcomes, we aim to showcase the projection results of the 7 colors on ideal white sample and the color sample of the Sydney Opera House. Additionally, we will propose color adjustment recommendations and use a comparison chart to demonstrate our research results. This data will provide valuable insights for the development of more precise and flexible color adjustment technologies. We also seek to explore new methods of the color correction that can reduce costs and improve effectiveness.
Okay, so now before we jump into some calculations, let's talk about the technology behind the Sydney. TDC, also known as Technical Direction Company, is one of the biggest event and entertainment technology companies in Australia. In this huge event, they use 2 special techniques to get the jobs done. One is the projection mapping, which their technician will map every structure of the buildings so the artist can place their content on the building architecturally. Another is the twilight projection tower. These racks can be rapidly deployed and improve the airflow of the projectors. Most importantly, they can be reused. The projector used for the major part of the event is the Barco UDM series laser projector. Compared to the lamp projectors that we usually use, lamp projectors deliver sharper image quality and use less power. Also, the brand Barco is chosen because it is the only projection system that meets TDC's color uniformity.
Now, let's familiarize ourselves with some key concepts. First of all, color. Color is the attribute of light that we perceive, resulting from wavelength and intensity of light. The range of light that human eye can perceive is typically defined as visual form, which roughly covers wavelengths from 380 to 780 nanometers or so. Light with longer wavelengths is interpreted as red, while light with shorter wavelengths is interpreted as blue. Between these two are interpreted as other colors such as green and yellow. Additionally, the intensity of light also affects our perception, with stronger light being interpreted as more vibrant colors, weaker one is interpreted as more subdued pale colors. As early as the 20th century, the International Commission on Illumination, which is CIE, had defined 3 important quantities of light: lightness, chroma, and hue. If we lower 3 tri-stimulate values, we can see that vivid cine had become subdimed cine. Therefore, to avoid this situation, it gives significant importance to our study. In order to measure these properties, CIE Lab 1976 has provided us a method to accurate specification of object colors and color differences, and the formula is shown below. Indeed, CIE Lab has many advantages, but based on the complex calculating conditions in this case, we will mainly focus on color differences and lightness, and just leave out the issue of chroma and hue. To prepare our data, we've conducted on-site color comparison, laboratory instrument measurements, interpolation calculations, and normalization calculations. The calculation results and analysis of experimental data will be incorporated in the summary section. It is important to know that in this study, due to constraints, we were unable to use real-world light resources and reflective surfaces. Instead, we used the closest matching distance color index and a limit of 7 colors of light sources for calculations. Meanwhile, the calculation method of CIE lab itself also involves some idealized assumptions. In the future, further study is needed to overcome these limitations.
So we have been dividing into Sydney Vivid Festival, particularly focusing how the stage lights shows on the appearance of Sydney Opera House. We have been crunching numbers to fine-tune the optical values needed for those vibrant colors to really pop against the Opera House shell. We picked out 7 colors: red, orange, yellow, green, indigo, blue, and purple, to study how much we need to tweak their color difference and brightness. Now picture this, we have got this pristine white canvas as our benchmark, comparing it to the Opera House for testing purpose, and what we have found is pretty interesting. Overall, these colors tend to lean a bit more towards the yellowish side, blending with the Opera House appearance, which is a bit on the yellow side itself. But there is the kicker: some colors like purple had a pretty significant difference, up to 24%. That means about a quarter of the purples you see might not match what the designer had in mind. So if you're planning on using purple lights, you might want to do some tweaking to get some just right. On the flip side, gray and orange didn't stay too far off, so the adjustments needed there were minimal, but don't get too comfy. If these colors aren't pre-adjust, they might not pop as much as you like. Now let's talk about brightness. Compared to our pristine white canvas, the lights on the Opera House exterior do dim things down a bit. Blues, indigos, and purples seems to get sucked in the most, while reds shine through a bit brighter. Imagine projecting the Australia flag. You'll notice the red popping more, while the blue fade into the background. So designer might want to up the brightness on blue to really make the flag stand out. Well, each of the 7 colors has its own purpose when it comes to light projection. Understanding these purposes can help designers better convey their concepts, especially when it comes to serious stuff like national flags. And let's not stop there. There are tons of other colors out there waiting to be explored. We're hoping to cook up a formula down the line that will help designers and optical engineers fine-tune all sorts of colors for Sydney Opera House, because we want to see Sydney Vivid Festival shine even brighter.